What is up guys, it's your boy Soul. I'm here, back with another Classic WoW video for the fresh Classic WoW servers. Now for today's video, I just want to start off by saying that I'm having an absolute blast playing on the fresh Classic WoW servers. I'm playing both on the PvE server and the hardcore server in Europe, and I'm having a really good time. Leveling alts, doing some endgame dungeons. I haven't really done the raid yet, don't really have a raiding guild either, but I'm having a really good time just leveling my characters and doing some high level dungeons on my mage, my warrior, and we're getting to some mid-level dungeons on the hardcore shaman as well, and overall I'm just having a good time. Now, I think it's important to start the video on that note and on a very positive note, because I will be talking about something that I don't like about, well, the fresh Classic WoW servers, but also Classic WoW in general, and it's something that I have really seen take off ever since Classic WoW came out. It's gotten more and more popular, basically every single fresh. So Classic WoW, Season of Mastery, Season of Discovery, now we have fresh Classic WoW as well. It is getting increasingly popular every time we see a fresh launch, and that is reserve culture. Now, first of all, we're going to take a look at this Reddit post right here and read a little bit about this and the comments. I will also talk about my experience with this, because I've been experiencing this quite a lot myself, both on the hardcore server and the regular PvE server as well. So let's talk about the headline here. HR hard reserve culture is ruining the pre-bisc grind experience, and I'm just going to say it's ruining way more than just the pre-bisc grind experience. It's ruining the entire game for a lot of people, like even myself. It's definitely tarnishing the entire game. So many people with the main character syndrome who want to run UBRS, it is mostly just rend runs with both swords and Fellow reserved. Want to join a strat UD group? Oh yeah, every group has the cape from Baron, HR. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on BRD groups. Exactly, people are running dungeons for 1 or 2 pieces of loot, which is what everyone needs by the way, and then they are hard reserving what they need. So you have UBRS, very popular example here, like both the swords and Fellow is pretty much always reserved. It's either like actually both swords and Fellow or it's either both swords or Fellow I don't think I've ever seen a UBRS run where one of these has not been reserved. And if we scroll further down in this post, we can see this comment. My buddy was wanting to hard reserve the helm from SM Armory for me, and I was like, dude, if somebody needs it, roll need, it's easy. Don't need to reserve lower level dungeons for stuff they'll replace in 5 levels. And a comment further up talks about reserving loot from dead mines, like guys. Now, to further echo that last part right there, whenever I'm playing on the hardcore servers, this is not something that is uncommon to see people are reserving. Even on the PvE server, when the servers came out, a lot of people on the Alliance side, they were doing dead mines and hard reserving, for example, Cruel Barb. People really want to get their weapons from even dead mines, so they will hard reserve those Cruel Barbs. And this is something I saw a lot at the launch of the regular servers, even on PvE. People went in, LFM, dead mines, Cruel Barb, hard, or alternatively, they never invited anyone who could lead on Cruel Barb. So you would see a warrior being the tank, he would invite like a healer and 2 casters and just go full caster group, and then that way he is basically reserving Cruel Barb without actually reserving Cruel Barb. And having played hardcore recently, especially on the horde side, it's something that I see a lot in RFK. If you go to Resurgent Crowd and you go to Overlord Ramtusk, he can drop a very good axe called Corpse Maker, and I see warriors all the time looking for more RFK, axe reserved, or as they like to say, axe is locked, so you can't roll on it, or whatever. They find a way to hard reserve this axe for themselves. It's a great axe, but it's just like the whole culture of whatever loot you need, you hard reserve every single time. It has gotten to a point where I just find it cringe, and it's happening way too often. It is like dead mines, you have RFK, you have the Scarlet Monastery, like in Armory, you go over here, like some of these items at some point are reserved on both Alliance and Horde. People are reserving items all the time, and I'm so bored, I'm so tired of it. And it's like, even right now as I'm recording this video, if you go to the chat right here, there was one person looking for more for Ubers right now, literally right here. LFM tank and DPS for Jed and Red ones. Main hand hard reserved, going as 6 out of 7. Even right now as I'm recording, people are hard reserving, and just a couple of minutes ago, somebody was hard reserving loot from Molten Core in a trash run. They were looking for people for trash runs in Molten Core to farm rep, and they were hard reserving basically everything. You go to Molten Core to farm rep, right? Molten Core just came out, so a lot of people are farming rep right now, and from the trash you can actually get some loot. If you go over here and we take a look at normal, and actually we can't see the trash loot here, it looks like, but basically the trash can drop BOE items, can drop recipes, can drop like materials, and can drop a lot of good things, and can also even drop certain tier pieces that can, I think some of those are BOE as well, but basically what I see here is people are looking for more Molten Core trash farming. BOEs are hard reserved, recipes are hard reserved, materials are hard reserved, basically everything is hard reserved, and then they are looking for people to just come and help them farm their materials. People are treating Molten Core as a gold farm, where they go in, like, usually, it's not even a guild reserving, by the way, it is one person making the group and reserving everything for himself, using it as an actual gold farm. If it's a guild, sometimes that does make sense, like they want to have materials for the guild and stuff, but in that case, just run the raid. You will get a bunch of materials from doing the raid. But in a lot of these regular trash farm groups that I've joined myself, it is one person, there's nobody's in the same guild basically, and the leader either is guildless or is the only person from his guild there, so he's making the group and reserving everything for himself. And I mean, speaking of Molten Core, yesterday I saw a guild that tried to take advantage of people being guildless and desperate to raid. So they were saying, looking for more Molten Core semi-guild run, 30 out of 40 in the same guild and looking for 10 pugs to just fill the last 10 slots. And they had hard reserved a couple of specific weapons, like basically Bone Reaver's Edge and Perdition's Blade, and every single tier set piece, like the regular tier sets, right? Every single tier set piece was reserved for the guild, and those two weapons from Molten Core was also reserved for the guild. So, I mean, hard reserving one or two items could make sense, but even then I think it's cringe, and then they start hard reserving all of the tier items as well, just basically giving the leftovers to those pugs, or allowing the pugs to roll on the leftovers. Like, personally, this is something that I don't think I've talked about on this channel before, but it's something that has gotten more and more out of hand every single fresh, and now this fresh, it's gotten to the point where I just have to talk about it and let my frustrations out, because I see it everywhere. Like, even when I'm leveling in the PvE server, I see people hard reserving Cruel Barb from Dead Mines. On the hardcore server, I feel like it's even more on the hardcore server, because the upgrades matter more, and you can also only do the dungeons once per day. So on the hardcore server, like, both on the old ones and the new fresh ones, I see this happen a lot while leveling. People do LFM for the dungeon, and they hard reserve whatever they need, usually a weapon, right, for the weapon upgrades, and it happens so often, even like not just at level 60. It's not just a problem at level 60 anymore, it's a huge problem while leveling as well. And you also have the whole thing where people are reserving without reserving. I mentioned this just a little bit ago, like a tank, for example. If you're a warrior tank, you only join the group if you're the only warrior in the group. And for example, in Dead Mines, you would only join if you are the only person that can use Cruel Barb. That way nobody else rolls against you. So you would invite a priest, for example, as the healer, you would have 2 mages and a warlock, or something like that. Maybe a druid, because druids can't use swords, right? So something like that. You would make sure that you are the only person rolling on the item that you want. So you're reserving something without reserving something. That is the other part of the hard reserve culture as well. So yeah, that's my rant on the hard reserve culture happening in Classic WoW. Might be a whole nothing burger to some of you guys, but let me know your thoughts on hard reserves in the comments down below. Do you dislike them? Do you actually like them? Or do you just not care? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're down there, check out the pinned comment to get the gold making guide as well, if you want to make more gold on the Fresh Classic WoW servers. I talked way more about farming gold, making gold, crafting for gold, and even investing as well. So taking the gold you have and investing it into items to get more gold back. Now, the link to that is down below in the pinned comment. Either way, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.